Welcome into the show. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now. Chase Sr. here with you, and we have some major breaking news on this May 21st of 2025. This is a day that is going to go down in history. The Tush Push is officially staying as the Green Bay Packers proposal did not pass. This is yet another win for the Philadelphia Eagles, a huge win for the Birds because it felt as though the entire NFL, a majority of teams, and a lot of fans were against Philadelphia, and you best believe we're taking a victory lap here because this play that has been perfected by the Philadelphia Eagles has not been perfected by anybody else, and it seemed as though the Eagles were a victim of their own success, but the Packers here have failed. Dianna Russini, with this report coming from the NFL owners' meetings that 10 teams voted against the Packers' proposal to ban the Tush Push. And so, Green Bay needed 24 of 32 owners across the National Football League to vote yes on banning this play. The Green Bay Packers only got 22 of those votes. So, it was a 22-10 score on yes to banning it to no. That is the same score of the wild card round when the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Green Bay Packers at Lincoln Financial Field back in January, which started their run to a Super Bowl 59 victory. And I got to give the Eagles social team some props here. Right when this decision was made official, the Eagles tweeted out this graphic here, push on. And you notice it's Jaylen Herz running the Tush Push, the brotherly shove against the Green Bay Packers. And I can't wait until the Eagles go to Lambeau Field. What is that, week 13, week 10, to play the Green Bay Packers? I hope they run this play ad nauseum. Mark Murphy, he really pushed for this play to be taken out of the National Football League. He is the CEO of the Green Bay Packers. The original proposal did not pass. Then the Packers had new language with that proposal. It still did not pass. This is what I have to say to Mark Murphy and the entire Green Bay Packers organization. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Go Birds! So with the Tush Push not being banned, and I'm sure a lot of fans who aren't fans of the Philadelphia Eagles are like, oh my goodness, Eagles fans are so obnoxious. No one likes us. We don't care. The Packers pitched that proposal earlier this offseason. This really started to gain a lot of traction going into the NFL Combine. When myself and producer Chip were there, it was the talking point of the Combine in Indianapolis outside of the prospects in the NFL Draft. Everybody wanted to hear what GMs and head coaches had to say about this issue. Even some of the draft prospects who had played in college football, they don't even run the Tush Push, were being asked about this. It's pretty crazy how this play that has been perfected and founded by the Philadelphia Eagles ended up being this big of an issue. And so it went from a 16-16 split. The NFL tabled these discussions from the previous owners' meetings earlier this offseason in April until now, and the Packers got 6 more votes on yes, up from 16 to 22, but it needed 24 votes. And this was the revised proposal from the Green Bay Packers, and there were some changes here from what they had pushed for originally, and you can read some of the dialogue there, which I find to be very interesting because their claims of this not being a safe play, their claims of this being a pace of play issue, there was no evidence to really ever back that up. And so I'm reading out some of the language here. Push or pull a runner in any direction at any time or lift him to his feet. That was Section A, use interlocking interference by grasping a teammate or by using his hands or arms to encircle the body of a teammate in an effort to block an opponent, or push or throw his body against a teammate to aid him in an attempt to obstruct an opponent or to recover a loose ball, or assist the runner except by individually blocking opponents for him. The penalty for assisting the runner, interlocking interference, or illegal use of hands, arms, or body by the offense, loss of 10 yards. The reason, player safety, and pace of play. And I have had so many thoughts on the tush push and brotherly shove. The Eagles are uniquely built to run this play. A lot of teams across the NFL don't put the level of emphasis on building up the offensive line as far as starters, backups, and developing this position like the Philadelphia Eagles. And so a lot of other teams don't have an offensive line that is littered with all pros and pro bowlers. The Eagles' success rate has gone down a little bit, so teams have gotten better against this play. We have that data coming up just around the corner. And what I find to be telling is that other teams are able to run this play. They have tried, but they've had little success. That goes to show you that if it were so easy, everybody would do it. But not everybody can do it because not everybody has an offensive line like the Eagles. Not everybody has a quarterback who can squat 600 pounds. This is specifically a Philadelphia Eagles play. The spin zone of this play is that I think it keeps quarterbacks safe. More on that in a moment. And I do think the Eagles are the victim of their own success. If this play were run by the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Arizona Cardinals, it would not have this much weight and this much hype around it. And why it is a football play, Nick Sirianni came up with this when he was working for the Indianapolis Colts. Andrew Luck was hurt, and so he came up with an idea to have Jacoby Brissett run an iteration of this play. And then he really started to implement it with the Philadelphia Eagles back in 2022. Football, to me, is about evolving. The Eagles have evolved as an offense. They've evolved the iteration of this play. Other teams haven't been able to evolve in stopping it. And what sports is about, film study, right? Exploiting an opponent's weakness. The Eagles are able to do that against the opposition. And in football, you have to stop what the opponent does well. Come up with ideas and solutions in your game planning. Other teams haven't been able to do that against the Eagles. And when you think about football, I know that the game has gotten softer. I know physicality has been taken out of it to a certain degree. But still, football is about hat on hat, physicality, and force at the line of scrimmage. Which team is going to win the battle once the ball is snapped? And more times than not, it's the Eagles getting that push with their offensive line. You look at the tush push success rate. In 2022, the Eagles operated it at a near perfect fashion. 36 of 39 in 2022 for a success rate of 92.3%. In 2023, they were a little bit better, 37 of 40 at 92.5%. But in 2024, credit to some teams who did do a better job of stopping this play. The success rate went down by 10 points from the previous 2 years, from 92+% to 82.4%, and the Eagles were 39 of 48 on the brotherly shove. And let's just throw some cold water on some of the common arguments that we've heard, right? It's an automatic play. Then why can't other teams run it successfully to the level of the Philadelphia Eagles? The offense should be able to push and pull. You can't pull, actually. And the defense has the opportunity to charge the line of scrimmage prior to the snap. It's not a safe play. There is no study that shows that it is unsafe. There is no internal data from the National Football League that has shown that the play results in injuries. In fact, last year, there were no injuries as a result of the brotherly shove. It impacts pace of play. Quarterback sneaks don't. Spiking the football doesn't. All these commercials and replay reviews, they don't impact the pace of play. And another thought here. If the Eagles did not win the Super Bowl, this play would not have gotten banned. this discussion and discourse would not have reached this level. If the Eagles got bounced from the NFL playoffs by the Packers or the Los Angeles Rams or the Washington Commanders, the memory that we would have going into 2025 would be the Buffalo Bills, who have run this play the second most times in the NFL. Despite Sean McDermott wanting this play to be ousted, it would be that the Buffalo Bills went 0-4 against the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. If that was the last time that we really heard about this play, would we be having this conversation? If the Bills went 0-4 and the Eagles were bounced prior to that in the NFL playoffs, there's no way that this play would be taken out because other teams would say, well, the Eagles are dominant at it. They got bounced, but look at what happened with the Kansas City Chiefs against the Buffalo Bills. The Bills went 0-4. And I thought this was a big flex. The Eagles brought future Hall of Fame center Jason Kelsey to the NFL owners meetings. Why? He addressed this on his podcast alongside his brother Travis. Bills co-owner Terry Pegula fabricated a story in trying to get this proposal passed that Jason Kelsey retired because of the brotherly shove. Jason Kelsey shot that down. And he obviously advocated for why this play should continue to be legal and of use for teams across the NFL. And what I just don't get is that the Bills have run this play the second most times behind the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFL. Yet Sean McDermott over and over and over again said, I'm worried about the safety. No safety study shows that it results in injuries. He says, it's not a football play. Okay, moving forward, Sean McDermott, with your 6'6", 250-pound quarterback in Josh Allen, if you push for this play to get banned and you're worried about the safety issues, if you now run this play, that means that you don't care about the safety of your players. And how about this, which is what Jeffrey Lurie said in his 30-minute speech at the NFL owners meetings today. He said, it's the safest play in the history of the game. If you think about a regular quarterback sneak, if a quarterback were to run a regular quarterback sneak, there are bodies coming at him from all over the place. Underneath his legs, from both sides, defenders over the top. When quarterbacks can run the brotherly shove, they get protected by the players behind them. And so it is a safe play as backed up by the evidence of these safety studies. And so let's tee up today's poll question. Do you agree with the NFL's decision to keep the tush push in the game? I want you to let me know down in the comment section. A for agree, D for disagree. And if you're typing D for disagree, you're just a hater. More to come here coming up just around the corner. But how about Jalen Herz? If you want a Jalen Herz jersey, he's going to continue to run the brotherly shove. He rocks the number one. The Eagles are number one. And he's the Super Bowl MVP. You can get your jerseys today thanks to our friends at Fanatics at chatsports.com/Eagles jersey. Plenty of other players available, of course, and different looks for those jerseys. You can go midnight green, Kelly green, the road whites. The black jerseys, I think, are criminally underrated. You can also get some former players. If you want a rookie like Jahad Campbell, you can get his jersey as well. chatsports.com/Eagles jersey. So there's also a misconception here that Jalen Hurts, when he rushes for touchdowns, it's only on the tush push. Okay, I guess people didn't see the 44-yard scamper on the opening drive against the Rams in which he pulled away from the defense. I guess people haven't been watching since 2020 when he was a second-round pick and came in and relieved Carson Wentz, where he's been making plays happen with his legs all throughout his NFL career. Hurts, in the regular season and playoffs, has 60 career rushing touchdowns. Only 40 to 50% of those rushing touchdowns are due to the brotherly shove. And the tush push, this will also have betting implications. It also has some fantasy football implications. For instance, in 2023, I was taking a look at some numbers. Jalen Hurts averaged 22.5 points per game. He was QB2 in fantasy points. But without the tush push touchdowns, this would have dropped to 16.9%, which would have dropped him from second among quarterbacks to 17th among quarterbacks. So, Chip, I want you to put your mic on because before we hop on out of here, do you have your mic? If not, you can just sing it with me. It's a perfect opportunity to say F Green Bay, F Mark Murphy, and it's a perfect time to sing this song. No one likes us, no one likes us, no one likes us, we don't care. We're from Philly, effing Philly. No one likes us, we don't care. No one likes us, no one likes us, no one likes us, we don't care. We're the Eagles, the effing Eagles. No one likes us, we don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fight, Eagles, fight. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3 on the tush push. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. And another Super Bowl. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Give me a follow on X and Instagram. The Tush Push, it's here to stay. Go Birds!